everybody, I'm live. How's it going, beautiful people of the Instagram? This is Jose Trujillo. I am the world's greatest living artist. I'm too good to be true, but I am. I'm too good to be true. So guys, check it out. Check it out. Here's the thing, guys. I want to talk to you guys about certainty. Certainty. What is certainty? What is certainty? Why is it something that you need? If you're an artist, why is it I believe it's the most important thing, and why you should care about having certainty. Okay? Certainty is the one thing that will make you or break you guys. No one talks about this. No one does. I've searched online, offline. I've talked to other... Yeah, there we go. I've talked to coaches, life coaches, and art gurus and artsy-fartsy people. Well, check it out, guys. Nobody talks about this. Beats me why they don't talk about it. I have a guess. I can guess why they don't talk about it. I believe that most people don't talk about the whole idea of certainty because they have no idea what the whole thing is. If that makes any sense. Most people don't understand why certainty is the power. Certainty is the power, guys. If you have to search what gives you certainty. You have to go search what gives you certainty. Okay? If you're an artist and you are trying to make a living selling your artwork, you want to get your artwork into shows, into galleries, into the hands of collectors, and you're not doing it, okay? And if you're not doing it, it's going to cost you to step back. It's going to cost you to move back, to withdraw yourself from the endeavor. It's only when you're winning that you actually create certainty. I know. It's like, dude, what do you mean? I want to win, so I have to go get certainty, right? But in order to get certainty, I have to win. So I don't get it. It's too confusing. It's not, guys. I'm gonna explain to you guys right now why it's not. Look, in order to start winning at something, right, you need certainty. And in order to get certainty, you got to win at something. So the point is that you have to make little wins. Just little wins. Small little wins. Yeah. Shit, I'm in the car studio. That's where I'm at. The car studio. I'm in the car studio. This is the car studio. I am inside. I'm in the car studio. So, whatever creates your certainty, everybody creates certainty in different ways. For example, if you're an artist, you're selling your work, you go to a gallery, someone says, hey, that's awesome, let's exhibit your work here. Boom, certainty goes up. Making your bed, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're at that stage where you need to make your bed and you need to, I don't know, clean the house and create a feeling, right? Because you need to create the feeling of certainty. Nobody talks about this, guys. I've experienced very low lows and very high highs, and I only link them. I've learned to see what it is. I link them to certainty. It's not, as people say, oh, it's this, it's because I'm happy, or it's because I'm grateful. Of course you are. It's because you're grateful. It's because of this, it's because of that. But the bottom line is that when you're winning, you want to win more. And that gives you certainty. When you're winning, you want to win more. When you're losing, you don't want to lose more, but you have no choice. So you start stepping back. Thank you so much. You start stepping back. So when you try to go get a gallery show and you don't get the gallery show, guess what you do? You don't go, I'm going to go get the gallery show. No, now your certainty level goes down. You got to know. You went to try to get a gallery show, and the gallery owner, the mom and pop gallery owner or whatever, they say, you know what, no, you're not for us. Thank you, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want your work here, or you're not ready for us, or whatever, we're not ready for you. However they say it, they're going to say no to you, right? When they say no to you, your certainty level drops to the ground. It doesn't matter how trained you are, or this or that. In life, we measure losses and wins. This is why when people are sad, they go get ice cream. A lot of people make up the shit of, oh, it's because of sugar, it's because of it. No, it's because it's a win. That's why. It's because it's a win. You're sad, you get a little bit of sugar. It's a win, right? It makes your body feel like you're winning. It's a win. It makes it happy. It gives it a little boost of whatever. So it feels like a win for a little moment. In life, the whole point is how we treat life, how we live. It's wins and losses. This is why people that win more. We've often seen people that do great in a career, and all they keep doing is going up and up and up and up and up. And we even hear phrases like, more goes to the one who has. I think it's in the Bible too. I think somewhere in the Bible it says, if you have, you get more. If you don't, even what you have is going to be taken from you, because it's all about certainty, guys. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, if I'm just happy, if I just smile, good. If that creates certainty, good. But if it doesn't create certainty, you need to find what creates certainty for you. For example, I'm going to give you an example. For me, in my business, and I would guess, just about everyone else who's in business, certainty means selling, right? If you sell, you get certainty. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to market, or I'm going to sell this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to hire more people, carry more inventory, and on and on and on and on. So in order to maintain my certainty, I have to sell. But in order to sell, I have to do certain little things, right? So I have to make sure that I'm doing those little things, that I'm working as hard as I can, that I'm doing all the right things, that I'm creating artwork daily, and that I'm very thoughtful of how I create my artwork, right? Because it's not everything is for me. A lot of my artwork is for collectors, right? A lot of my artwork, collectors like buying certain type of artwork, and I have to be thoughtful of them so that I can sell it, right? So that I'm able to sell it, because that raises my certainty in my business. And I know that so many people out there don't know this little secret. I would estimate that 90% of people out there don't know this little secret. I know most people have been taught this whole idea of be happy and gratitude. Of course, it's so important to be happy and to be grateful. But I would add this to the whole equation of getting what you want. It has to do with certainty. It has to do with how you feel about yourself. How you feel. Do you feel you're winning? You're going to win more. If you don't feel like you're winning, you're going to retract. You're going to move. Nobody does what they're not good at, what they're not winning at. You don't want to keep doing it. If you're not winning at it, if you're not winning constantly and raising the bar constantly, winning more, you're not going to want to play the game. And it's my personal belief that this is why addictions exist, because people feel like they're winning for a little bit. So they want to go repeat it. They want to go repeat it. Repeat. Every time they win a little bit. I don't know. This is not a scientific observation. This is just a personal observation. I think that people, in general, human beings, our behavior is based on wins and losses. And I think this is, if we want to take this a little bit more esoteric, I think it's a bit of an egoic sense of self. We still live in an egoic state of mind. Let's call it that. A heavy, very heavy egoic, where we have where we based our life on wins and losses. This is why people feel happy when they get likes on their Facebook pages, on their Instagram. When people follow you, they get happy because it's a win. I wish I could stress this a little bit better, but I'm doing it in my own style. Most people don't feel like they're winning, so they step away from their art careers. Most people feel like they're not getting anything out of it. If you're creating artwork and you're not exhibiting, you're not selling, you're not creating relationships, and on and on and on, you don't want to do it anymore. You're gonna step away from it. And here's the problem, okay? When certainty goes low, you start looking for what the problem is. That's really the problem. So you start making sense of it, and it's not true. None of the stuff that you're making sense of is true. You start making sense of it. You start going, oh, maybe it's because of the way I paint. Oh, maybe it's because of my attitude. Oh, maybe it's because none of it makes sense. It's a mental thing. We tend to think that it's true, that whatever we come up with, whatever reasoning we give ourselves, I'm going to go ship a painting. Whatever reason we give ourselves is true, but it's not. I assure you, if you want to win at this whole being an artist thing, you need to raise your certainty. It is the only way. Really. It's the only way. I don't know what's going to raise your certainty. You got to find out what raises it. Is it exhibiting? Is it going into the studio and creating artwork? Do you feel grateful? Do you feel there's another word for certainty also. It comes down to your self-esteem, guys. Your self-esteem. You have to feel like you're winning, because that's going to bring more win. I can't stress this enough. Every time that I don't feel like I'm winning, I keep retracting from it. I keep going back and back and back and back. The moments that I feel like I'm winning, I attack it because I want to repeat it. This is why this is why it's so common. People that win keep winning more, right? People that have more, because they keep repeating the same action. Oh, I just want to ship this. I'm gonna need a receipt.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, I love that. Art never makes sense because it's a part of yourself, and then mine it's never ending. Yeah. True that. So one of the things that I've done also to raise certainty is to be highly engaged, to create so much activity that all of a sudden I start getting opportunities from different places that raises my certainty. Sending this box FedEx. Thank you so much.
I just need a signature here, please.
Oh.
And then that bottom copy is yours.
Very cool. Thank you. You too. Oh. So see, the whole thing, guys, will come down to certainty. It's the secret of secrets. It's the secret of secrets. Most people don't feel like they're winning because they're not putting themselves in positions to win. And little wins, I'm not talking about big wins, little wins. You got to put yourself in position to get little wins. Maybe you I don't know. Look, if you're going to be making business cards, I'm going to give you an example. I talk to artists, I coach artists. If you're going to be doing a little business card, don't take a whole week. Make it a win. Like, take, I don't know, 20 minutes and make a business card and get it delivered right away. Have it in your hands right away. Cut the time out of the equation, and that's a win. If you take too long with it, your certainty, anytime you add time to anything, this is something that I learned from a mentor. Anytime you add time to anything, you're reducing the certainty. The certainty actually is going down. Anytime you remove time, you amp up the certainty. All of a sudden there's a reason to show up. There's a reason to. Here's an example. Go to work and go to work for a month. Okay? Go to work for a month or 2 weeks or whatever, and don't get a paycheck till 2 months later. Your certainty is going to go down. You're going to start feeling like, oh my God, well, why am I even coming here if I'm not even getting paid? Simple as that. When you start getting the payoffs, your certainty goes up. Most people's certainty never gets activated because we don't start getting payoffs. So you have to put yourself in a position where you're getting payoffs, where you're actually getting paid something. You're getting paid in resources and whatever. Little steps. Yeah, little steps. It doesn't have to be big, because the big stuff is going to come. But it's going to be pushed by the little stuff first. The big stuff is going to come. For example, I don't know. This is why I started selling my artwork on Craigslist. As simple as that. Because I needed certainty. I needed to know that I could sell my work. I sold that a few days, and then it turned into a few weeks, and then a couple of months. And so the certainty started going up. I actually started believing that I could sell the artwork. When the certainty went up, I was like, well, where else can I sell this? And I went on eBay. My first month, I made $10,000 because my certainty was up. This is why it's so difficult for me when I started teaching friends to do the same thing. I had artist friends. It was difficult. They didn't get it. Now that I look back, I'm like, oh man, I get it. It was so difficult for them to conceive it. To conceive the whole thing, because see, I was operating on certainty. They were not operating on certainty. They were operating on a lack mentality. How can I sell my artwork and make $10,000 in a month? There's no way. You can't see it. It's abstract. So when I try to teach other friends, they were like, no, I just don't know how. And I'm like, here, just do this, sell one. And they're like, I don't know. The ones that actually did it, that sold 1, 2, their certainty level went up. Their certain level went up. Now they feel they could sell 2, 3 paintings. Now they could feel like they could actually see your certainty goes up, your self-esteem goes up, your chin goes up. All of a sudden you start feeling like, oh shit, I can walk into this gallery and ask for a moment of their time to exhibit my work. You gotta get wins. This is the thing that I learned. This is the most valuable shit that I've learned. You gotta get wins, because the wins will activate new wins. The wins will activate new wins. If you don't start winning, you will never activate the wins. You have to activate them. As you start winning, what I mean by winning is little wins. Little wins, like I sold a little painting, I sold a print, I sold a drawing, I talked to a potential buyer. Someone asked me a question about my commission, and I communicated right away with them, fast. I took care of it right away, and I moved on to the next thing. I went and I cleaned up my studio right away. I mean right away, so that you have to shrink the time. Right? So you can get the win. You have to shrink the time so you can get the win. This is why Tai talks about gulping life. He calls it gulping life. He's like, if you have something to do in a whole month, try to do it in a day. Try to do it in a week or a day, depending on your muscle, right? On your muscle of getting stuff done. And what that does is that you start getting wins. And wins, all of a sudden they put a spring in your step. And you start believing that you can. Once you start believing that you can, you're unstoppable. This was the missing factor. This was the missing thing. Every time I try to teach other people how to sell artwork, it was like I can't. Like, I don't get it. Like, how do you do that? And it's because I was operating on momentum. I was operating on momentum. I was operating on inertia. I had a high sense of belief in myself. And every time I feel like I'm losing, I step back and I'm afraid. It's got nothing to do with the way you paint. It's got nothing to do with your personality. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's everything and all to do with your certainty level. Your certainty is high, you feel great. I just saw this movie on the movie theaters, a movie about Amy Schumer, the comedian, where it touches on this like so well. It perfectly touches on this, right? It's so certain that she, spoiler alert, that she feels beautiful outside as she is inside, that there's no stopping her, because it's like an aura of power is around you, but it's done because you start believing in yourself. This is why it's so difficult when people are like, just believe in yourself. Bullshit, it's difficult. How can you believe in yourself if you feel like you're losing? You have to put yourself in situations where you feel like you're winning, and the believing in yourself becomes natural. You have to put yourself in situations where you can exhibit your work in maybe 2, 3, 10 different places. And all of a sudden you're gonna start getting little wins. You're gonna sell a little print. You're gonna sell a little drawing. You're gonna sell a little painting. You know, people are gonna ask you about commissions. And the more of those little wins you start acquiring, those are gonna push. All of a sudden there's gonna be like a spring in your step. You're gonna start feeling like, oh shit, I can do this. I actually can do this. You're gonna start walking into galleries and talking to the owners. You're going to start expressing yourself more in the community. You're going to start doing videos like this if you don't do videos like this, because you start believing in yourself. The whole damn game is self-belief. This is why Picasso was so great. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Picasso. Picasso was great because he believed in himself so much. Anyone that believes in themselves will win at the game. And the only way to believe in yourself is to start winning. You have to have little wins. It's very difficult to believe in yourself if you're losing. If you're playing a soccer game or whatever, a game, some sort of athletic game, and you're not winning at it, you don't want to play you're not going to want to play the fucking game anymore. But the moment that you start winning, all of a sudden you're going to start feeling like you're participating, you know, and that's going to prompt more wins and more wins. And it's going to remove your idea of losses. This is very important, especially when you're starting out. I'll leave you guys with that. My name is Jose Trujillo. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.